We didn't do it with the end of the Bet Yosef, okay? And the tour. הלווהו השדה ואמר לו, אם לא תיתן לי מכאן עד 3 שנים, הרי הוא שלי. Right? If you don't pay me back within 3 years, then the sadeh becomes mine. ולא אמר מעכשיו. He didn't say from now. בעניין שאין המקח קיים, because it's not a real transaction. Why is that a real transaction? Because what we call asmachta lo kanya. So therefore, you can't say if you don't pay me back, because he assumes he's going to be able to pay back. That's why he agreed on the transaction. תוך 3 שנים לא יאכל פירות, ואם אכלם לא יחזיר. דהב אלי אבק רבית. Right? So within 3 years, right? In other words, שאין המקח קיים. תוך שנים לא יאכל פירות. He shouldn't eat the פירות within 3 years.
Right, because he didn't say מעכשיו.
If he did eat the פירות within 3 years, לא יחזיר. Why? דהב אלי אבק רבית. ואם זה שתק וניחה בידו אחר 3 שנים, מפני שהיה סבור שנחלטה לו, וכשהוא נודע שלא קנאה, מוציאה מיד. Yeah. 1 second. Ovadia, you drive, because I'm teaching. So you drive. You have to drive back in 20 seconds. I know, but Michael's going to come. Oh, okay, so I'll drive. It's fine. Guys, somebody, I'm just driving. Somebody finish reading the Torah. I'll explain it.
Who wants to read? Anybody? Can you hear clearly? You hear me good? If you want, I'll read.
Joe, you read.
Let me explain what the Torah is saying there.
Yeah.
The Torah goes kacha, right? The Torah is saying that Be'emet, if you are
okay, we lost the rabbi, so I'll read it and explain it. Start the dalet again. So the guy takes a loan, he gives his friend the field as collateral, and he says, if I don't pay you back within 3 years, it's, it was actually the other way around. The lender is saying, if you don't pay me back within 3 years, I'm going to keep the field. He didn't say that it takes...
Now he collects the field, and he collects the perot. He has to be ma'azir everything. Why does he have to be ma'azir everything? He has to be ma'azir the field because it's not koneh asmachta lo kanya, and he has to be, and the perot also he has to be ma'azir because that's not midin avak ribit. That's midin also asmachta lo kanya. That's the day of the tour. Okay, that's basically what the tour is saying.
We missed you in the middle.
It's going to be a mahloket in the Bet Yosef.
Can you hear me, Rabbi? Rabbi, you hear me?
Rabbi, we missed you in the middle there. You broke up for about a minute.
So you broke up for a minute. So we're gonna do the tour again one more time because we got.
Okay, so that's the day of the tour.
Can you hear me? Touch your man.
Okay.
I don't think you can hear us. Are you guys hearing me, by the way?
I'm losing you guys again.
You hear me?
Rabbi,
so we don't hear the Rabbi. You're not hearing us, Rabbi.
Hello,
Rabbi. Okay. So we don't hear him. They said that. Okay. This is comedy. Okay.
He must be near West Park or Park Avenue. Yeah.
The place with no, they're down. Yeah. Okay, let's start again. Hilkhot Ribit. The guy makes a loan. Yeah, Rabbi, we lost you totally in the middle. Can you hear me? No, he doesn't hear.
Rabbi, can you hear us? He's not hearing us.
Yeah.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. You don't hear us.
You see me?
No, now we don't see you either.
See you either.
Can you hear me?
Oh, because they put in safe driving mode. I'm as if okay.
Okay.
Truth, safe driving mode is a bad idea. Why would we want to do that anyway?
Yes, we don't want. I'm as if.
Yeah.
I'll be 1 second. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm a Rabbi. Let me read the tour. Let me read the tour, and you'll tell me.
I need to use the car, and therefore no one can drive them.
I don't think
because I can only give the shirt in the car.
No, because he can't leave the car. He needs the car to power. His phone is dead.
I don't think he hears us.
Robert, can you hear me? Talo Shumaya? No, he isn't here. Okay, I'm Anyway, so the guy goes and he takes a loan, right? And he tells him, if you don't pay me back, I'm keeping the field within 3 years. Velo amar me'achshav. He didn't say that the change of ownership would take effect from the day of the loan. He didn't say that.
Okay, you with me?
We're with you, but you don't hear us. The mekach is not going to take effect until after the 3 years expires, which means that the guy has the field as collateral for 3 years, and it isn't really his yet, because if the guy pays back, right, so then the field is not going to be his. And therefore, lo yochal perot. He's not allowed to eat the fruit for those 3 years. V'im achalam, if he did eat them, lo ya'zil. He doesn't have to pay them back. Why? Dehavile avakid. Good. Now, v'im ze shatak. V'nicha biyado achar shalosh shanim. So the case again was not a me'achshav case. Okay? And after the 3 years expired, the guy didn't pay the money back, and he didn't say anything to the lender either, and the lender still has the possession of the property. Why? Because the borrower thought that that's it. He owns the field, the guy, so he left it there. Okay? When he finds out that the lender really did not acquire the field because the whole statement was an asmachta, and asmachta is lat koneh. So he gets to take the field back from the lender. And he has to pay back of any of the fruits that were after the 3 years, because that already is again because of the asmachta aspect. The fruit that he ate during the 3 years, that's avak ribit. That doesn't have to be paid back. But after the 3 years, that's the same as the field itself. The guy thought that it was really his field because he didn't pay back, so the guy kept the fruit. That's all wrong. That's all part of the original asmachta, is to pay back the fruits after the 3 years. The fruit during the 3 years, that he doesn't have to pay back because that was avak ribit. That's the two.
Joe, it's funny. Intuitively, it doesn't seem that way.
Right.
Intuitively, it feels like if the guy is after 3 years, he's still holding on to the field. Doesn't that make sense that he at this point assumes that it's an actual transaction and isn't an asmachta?
Right, but no, that's the problem. The borrower is relying on this idea that's mistaken. He thought that his statement was actually binding, and it's not.
But so did
the ownership.
So did the lender, no?
So again, the lender is the one that makes the statement according to the Torah, and the borrower thinks that it's a binding statement. He accepted the statement. He thought it was legitimate, but it's not. It's an asmachta, and it's not koneh no matter what, that statement. Unless you say me'achshav or you have to do some kind of kinyan on the statement itself, then there's a chance to make it. But the way that it's set up in the Torah, it's not going to be koneh. Once it's not koneh, so anything that is based on that mistaken assumption is invalid. And the fruit after 3 years is based on that mistaken assumption. It's invalid. It's to pay back. So he gives back the land and the fruit after the 3 years. During the 3 years, that's avak ribit. He doesn't have to pay those back. Avak ribit is not yotzei b'dayan. That's the way the Torah holds. Okay, I think that's the shot of the Torah. Let's read the Bet Yosef. Chavod, anyone want to read? No?
You want me to read? I'll read.
Okay, Chavod, Val.
הלווהו על שדהו, משנה שם, ולא עמל מעכשיו, שם פעל בדברי רבנו בטור חוש המשפט, סימן רשעים. תוך 3 שנים לא יאכל הפירות וכו'. שם, אני אשמח בבב, אמר רב נחמש, השתא דאמור רבנן אסמכתא לא קניא, הדרה ערעה והדרה פרא.
Right, the gland goes back and the fruit goes back. Okay?
כתב הראש, והדרה פרא, אותן שאכל אחר 3 שנים.
Right. Don't think all the fruit goes back. No, only the ones after the 3 years.
Right.
Why?
משום דהווה מחילה בטעות. בכל מקרה גם נעליו מחילה היא, אבל אותם שאכל תוך 3 שנים בטעם רבית.
Bit achalam eno mahazi. So that mechila of the borrower of the property rights is a mechila b'ta'ut, because he thought that the statement was a valid statement. And since it's not really a valid statement, the mechila that he gave it by giving the land over to the borrower or by leaving it in the possession of the lender and allowing him to keep it even after 3 years, that's all based on the original asmachta. And therefore he was mochel the property rights after the 3 years, but it was a ta'ut, because it was relied on the asmachta, and therefore the whole thing goes back. That's how the Torah is like, based on the Rosh, right? Say that? Got it? Okay.
והראש לטעמי דסבירה לקרשי, בתוספות, למשכנתא ולא נחייתה, אפילו בעתרה למסלקי אבק ביתי ואינו יצאה בדיינים.
Okay, so mashkanta below nechayata means that you give the mashkon, and the income of the mashkon is not reducing the principal value of the loan. Even be'atra de misalke is a place where they can remove the lender from the land. Still, nevertheless, it's abakabit. So it's not real to beat. Mashkanta below nechayata, if you think about it, what happens is the guy's getting the income of the produce from the land, and he still owed the full principal value of the loan. That's more than he lent. Still, according to Rashi and Tosafot, that's called avakabit. And the Rosh is holding like Rashi and Tosafot, and therefore the fruit of the 3 years is considered avakabit, even though it's going to be more when you add that fruit to the original principal value. The lender is getting more than he gave out. It's still not Ribit de Oraita, and it's not Yotzei B'dayim.
Because he's not saying me'achshav, because he's not what says at the time in terms of this deal.
No,
Why do we take it from kitzutza?
No. In general, it's not a big kitzutza. It's not a big kitzutza because that wasn't part of the transaction. You're going to get the land and the fruits is whatever. I guess that's mashkanta below nechayata. It's a mashkon, and that's the way it was done in those days. The guy, whatever income he can produce on the mashkon, it's his.
but
It's not money that's coming back from the lovev technically directly to the malveh, right? The malveh is doing the work on the land. He's investing for the seeds and the work and the things. So whatever he's getting to get, he gets to keep. It's not Ribit the Oraita that's going from the loveh directly to the malveh.
according to Rashi and Tosfot in the Rosh, but we'll see.
It's avak Ribit. Yeah, there's another opinion. We'll see the Rambam in a minute, but that's a different story, right? But the point,
right.
yeah.
אבל הרמב"ם כתב בפרק ו' בהלכות מלווה, דרבית קיצוצה הווה, וכן דעת הריב. כמו שכתב בסימן קע"ב, ולדעתם מחזיר כל פירות שאכל, בין טוב 3 בין אכל 3.
Right. So now we have machlok between Rashi and the Rosh. I mean, the Rambam and the Rosh. Right? According to Rambam, this is the bit kitzutza, and he gets back, when he says he gets back everything. All the fruits gets paid back, according to the Rambam.
Mr. Halacha should be, you'd think, at least.
It's a machlok in Rosh and it's a machlok between the Rosh and the Rambam, so we're not sure yet. Always gonna,
You have a reef also.
There's a reef where? Where was the reef?
לכן דעת הריף.
Oh, he's with the Rambam. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's 2-1. Yeah, so now I would say you're right. Yeah, he's probably going to be posek like the reef in the Rambam.
Shulchan Aruch?
So that's it. Yeah, let's look at Shulchan Aruch. So, did we do the beginning of Shulchan Aruch?
I don't think we did any of the Shulchan Aruch.
I think we went straight through the Siman on this in tour.
I don't think we did any Shulchan Aruch.
Okay, so start from Aleph.
הממשכן שדה לא יחקרנו. בואו בסעיפים. א', מי שהייתה שדה ממושכנת בידו, לא יחזור ויזכיר אותה לבעל השדה. ויש מי שמחזיר במשכנתה לדסורה.
Okay.
הגהה, I'll just read the סימן, and we'll go back. הגהה בלבד של עוד נו מתחילה כך, וגם שכבר יחזיק המעביר בשדה. אבל בלב הכי, לכו על מה אסור.
Okay, so let's explain. So the guy has the field in his hand as a mashkon from somebody. He made a loan and he's the lender. And he has the mashkon, that's the field. He shouldn't go back and rent it back to the borrower. Right? V'yesh b'shematir la'asot ken b'mashkanta d'sura. Okay, some are matir if you're doing it the way they did in surah. So mashkanta d'sura, right, is let's see, the Taz brings it, I think, over here. Okay. Look at the Taz if it's about to remind us what Mashkanta the Surah is. מבואר כמובן סימן כמובן, דהיינו שהשכין לו באופן שלא יצטרך לבדוק ממנו, אלא יאכל איזה שנים ויחזירנה בחינם. So Mashkanta the Surah is that the income is producing the principal value of the loan. So that's going to be mutar according to the Yesh Omri. Right, so let's say I borrowed $1,000 and I give him my field as collateral, and then I'm renting back the field at $100 a year. So I would have the field for 10 years, paying $100 a year, and after 10 years, I take the field back. I don't pay the principal value. That's mashkanta d'sura. So yesh, that's only a yesh omrim mutar. Okay. And the Haggaha says that's only if you didn't make the mitechila, this mashkanta of the surah deal. It's only afterwards. If you did it from the beginning, even that's asur. Okay.
So beit kitzutza?
No, it's not a big kitzutza. It's just asur de rabbanan. It looks because it's money going from the lovet to the malva. It looks like it'd be, yeah. Look at the shach.
No, the first part. The first part.
So why can't I do it in general? He's saying.
No,
I shouldn't go back and.
That is because it looks bad only.
Yeah. Look at the shach. Lo yahzor.
אפילו כתוב בשטר ששהתה ביד המלווה זמן רב קודם שיחקרו ללווה.
Even if they wrote into the shtar that the malva had it for a while.
Right. פירוש ואפילו נמי הכי ששהתה זמן רב בידו אסור. לכן כתב בפרישה פשוט.
פרישה או פשוט. Can't do it. Okay, even if the malva actually had it for a while. Right?
It's all mechzer.
Yeah, that's according to the one. It's all because it looks like a beat. It's money going from the lovet to the malva.
Right.
Okay. ויזכיר.
ויזכיר. ואם שכר משמע דעת המחבל כהפוסקים דרבית קיצוצה הוא.
There we go. Okay, if he did it, Maran says it looks like it's a big kitzutza. That's the way the shach is understanding.
ולזה בסעיף ב' במשכנתה דסורה דווקא, בסעיף דסורה דווקא, כתב שאם בא אחר שכרה מותר להזכיר לבעל השדה. Right, because that's less, right? ולא כתב כן בדין, דהכה כתבו תלמידי הרשב"א. דעזיר טעמי שכתב בבית יוסף לתלמידי הרשב"א, סביר לדהכה הווה אבק ריבית. אבל למען דסביר להווה ריבית קיצוצה, כי הפסקי החרסג אלא אפוקי מריבית קיצוצה. אבל אבק ריבית, הכתה הווה.
משכנתה דסורה וכל המשל. So this one he's saying it's asur, it's ריבית קיצוצה. It's when it's not a mashkanta the surah case, right? The reisha of the siman is not mashkanta the surah. You just rent it.
There's no article. There's no repeat.
No, in mashkanta the surah, it's not repeat because the guy is only getting back what he was actually paid, the lender. But in the first part before the yesh omrim, that's not a mashkanta the surah. That is you still owe the principal value, and the rent is rent. And therefore, the lender is getting more money, and that's why he's saying that Maran holds like the Rambam and the Rif that's going to be the beat the oraita kitzutza.
Not like Tamidei Rashba.
Right. That's why he said. You just saw what that is. That's reducing the principal value.
Okay. So if bet משכנתה דסורה אם בא אחר ושכר אותה מהמלווה מותר לחזור ולהזכיר אותה לבעל השדה.
Okay. So mashkanta desura, let's say the deal was set up as a mashkanta desura. Okay? That the income of the field is going to reduce the principal value. And the lender rented the field not to the borrower, to somebody else. And then that other person turned around and rented it back to the borrower. That's what he's saying. Mashkanta desura v'im ba'acher v'sachar ota mehamalveh, someone else rented it. Mutar lahazor, that person, v'laskir ota laba'al hasadeh. That's the borrower again. So with a third party in between, mashkanta desura seems to be a mutar l'chatchila according to.
He's saying that basically the yesh mishim matir is one thing, but here if you want to make it l'chatchila mutar, yeah, third party.
That's correct. Meaning that mashkanta desura is going to be matir over here, right? Because in the case of Aleph, you were turning around and renting it back to the original borrower, right? And so even in mashkanta desura, some say that's asur.
Right.
But over here, the deal was, you're going to lend me $1,000. I'm going to give you my field. You're going to rent it. And the income that you get from the field, not from me, from wherever you rent it to, is going to reduce the principal value of the loan. Okay? That's going to be mutar. Okay? And now, in that case, if that actually happened, and then the person that rented it from the lender turned around and rented it back to the borrower, that is mutar.
So, okay, so I remember when we talked about this, about the case that you had with the Kohalim.
Yeah.
Sounds here that this inyan of a third party doesn't really hold for the other case that Maran seems to feel it's Ribit Kitusa. Misha Taslim Mushkina Biado, La Yahzir Ba'al Sadeh, because in that case, in the case you were talking about where a person goes and takes over the ownership of a home, but charges rent.
Right, correct. It's a
And
problem.
the person has a ongoing option to buy the house back at any time.
That's the problem. That was my problem. That's what I'm saying. It might be a problem. The whole setup is a problem because of this problem. This is what it is.
No, but I'm saying even in that, so I'm saying it seems to me according to this that you couldn't even add a third party to lighten the load of it.
Why not? That's bit. Because we're not producing the principal value of the loan. You're right.
Because
it's still a problem. Right. You're right. Right. According to this, it's a problem still because in the whole issue, the only heter comes out is if the rental payments are going to be reducing the principal value. But if they're not, you're right. It's an issue. It looks like over here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we should stop here. We don't have the rabbi with us anyway. Stop here. Pick up here tomorrow.
Why don't we just do Gimel?
Okay. No problem. There's Gimel and Dalet if you wanted. That's what. It's two more.
Dalet, I'm saying.
What? You want to do Gimel and Dalet? Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying this. Let's do through Gimel and then we'll finish because we.
Okay. Fine.
We'll do Dalet with the rabbi because I feel like.
Okay. Fine.
Mutalim Sadehu La'aher. No, wait. Sorry. In the Shach.
Yeah.
אין כתוב רתב"ה, וסיים בה אפילו לא נחת המלווה לתוך המשכנתה כלל. אחרי קיבלתי ממורי הרב, עד כאן, מכין כתב בדק הבית.
Right. He could do that. That's no problem. The Malva never had, it went straight from the Love to the third guy. That's okay. And then the third guy can rent it back to the Malva, to the Love.
מותר למכור שדהו לאחד ולהתנות עמו שיחקי לנו. פירוש, החוקר הוא איש שמקבע עליו שדה חברו לעובדה, בתנאי שייתן לבעל כך וכך פירות, בין תעשה פירות.
Fixed rent. Hakira is fixed rent.
What is it?
It's fixed rent. It's rent. Doesn't matter if the field produces fruits or not. You're not getting a percentage of the yield. You're paying a fixed price no matter what happens. The field makes money or not, it doesn't make a difference. That's hakira. So it's rent. That's what it is.
So we're talking about, we're going back to bet. We're saying if you did that thing.
No, but this is a mechira. I sold you the field, mamash. And now I can make a condition after the sale, right? I'm going to sell to you and rent it back to you. And you're going to rent, and then I'm going to rent it back to you. That's
What would
That's not considered. It's not considered a loan. It's not interest on it. Beats nothing. It's a sale and a rental agreement.
I'm just saying.
Even though it looks the same.
What would be the havamina that would be problematic?
No, because it looks. The transaction itself on face value looks like what happened in Aleph or Bet.
Looks like harama.
It looks like it because I'm paying you. I'm taking money from you. That's the purchase price. I took money from you, and now I'm giving money back to you through the rent. So it looks like I lent money. You borrowed money. You lent me money, and I'm paying you back rent. It looks the same. It's so lechat techila is a mutar. It's a sale. It's two different things.
Nah. Okay. All right. All right. We'll stop here. All right.